All right, guys, welcome back to another Nintendo Power Read. We're jumping in the warp pipe, going back to July/August of 1990 with this issue, Volume 14, with Rescue Rangers on the cover here. It's going to be a full in-depth go-through of this magazine. We're going to check out all the articles, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. I have a whole bunch on the channel. If you haven't seen them yet, we try to do this weekly, so come along with me.
Books, guides, magazines, and everything in between. It's about video games, and that's what I read. Yeah, that's what I read. Russ's Retro Reads.
Here's the cover right here. You got this big light bulb that is right behind Chip and Dale with the bad cat right behind here. Fat Cat? Forgot his name. Bad Cat? Fat Cat? Something like that. In the background, Rescue Rangers, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Also, don't miss Go-Go 13, The Mafia Conspiracy, plus previews on Mission Impossible and Castlevania 3. Bonus content is Final Fantasy Treasure Quest Part 2. That's what we're getting into here. Let's flip it open. Of course, we got your ad to get your Nintendo Power subscription. He's got the DuckTales all bound up like he's ready to hit a freaking fly or something. Jeez, have some respect for the Nintendo Power. Get your own and save big. So some of the issues right there. Team Power Pins. I had one of these growing up, one of the Team Power Pins. They came in, misplaced it. I have no clue where that ended up. Hopefully I could find it. I'll probably order another one on eBay just to have it. Be cool to throw on the jacket right here, so while we're reading the Nintendo Power, we could have our Team Power pin. Let's check out the contents in this magazine. Final Fantasy in page 8, Rescue Rangers, Snake's Revenge. Just when you thought it was safe to blow up enemy headquarters. Again, Metal Gear returns. Go-Go 13, The Mafia Conspiracy, Solstice, Crystalis, and special features are the CES report, Game Boy, diving into new games coming out, featuring Captain Skyhawk, Dragon Spirit, Starship Hector, Dungeon Magic, and a Little League Baseball Championship. Ninja Gaiden II, Dark Sword of Chaos. Of course, we got our Howard and Nestor, classified information in Counselor's Corner, July 1990. And August, we got previews for Castlevania 3, Maniac Mansion, Mission Impossible. Video shorts are back. A look at a recent release, including Rad Racer 2, Wizardry, Battle Chess, Pictionary, and tons more. And on the Pack Watch, 2 Marvel comic characters get their own game. Plus, news on a super game for the Power Glove, a futuristic street fighting game, and more. Sounds interesting. Players Forum. We got Players Pulse, Top 30, NES Archives, NES Journal, and you can check out the back issues and what's coming up in next month's issue as well. And they give you your power meter rating system, so when they're rating the games, you know what it means. All right, let's dive into this here. Players Pulse, Mailbox, Championship Comments. I must commend you on spectacular show. I mean, of course, the NWC. My favorite part was the competition arena. It was impressive. The competition was tough. When the adrenaline starts pumping, you really get into it. I made it to the semifinals, and it was great. My friend Gary Batman was one of the finalists. His last name's Batman? Gary Batman? The Power Walk display, excellent games. My favorites were Super Mario Bros. 3 and Ninja Gaiden 2. To play Super Mario Bros. 3, you had to wait in a long line. The Game Boy games were neat, too. It makes me want to go get one. I saw Ben Smith there, and I got Howard Phillips' autograph. Ben from Fort Worth, Texas. We're glad you had a good time at the Nintendo Power Fest 1990, Ben. All you other readers who attended the event, let us know what you thought. Did you guys attend? I did not. I did not go to the Power Fest. From Sharp Minds. I'm a 9-year-old and I just completed a school program called Invent America. This program asks students from across the United States to make an invention that can solve a problem. My problem was that a lot of my friends had also the Nintendo controllers always stayed on the floor and often the cords got tangled up. My mother was always calling me back to put them up whenever I left them on the floor, which was most of the time. I invented a automatic control winder from the Invent America program. Many students and their mothers saw it and said they really needed one. This invention is made of a box that Nintendo Entertainment System control deck sits on. It has space for 2 controller cords to wind up inside. You push a button and the controller cords wind up out of the way. It works like a retractable cord to a vacuum cleaner does. The automatic control winder also has room to store game packs. Eric from Valdosta, Georgia. There's a picture of him right there with the device that he made. That's pretty awesome. Well, Eric, your idea looks good on paper, or whatever your model is made of. Although there aren't any products quite like it in the works, we here at Nintendo have also given some thought to the problem of tangled cords. Our solution? The NES Satellite, our infrared remote controller that not only eliminates cord tangle, but lets 4 people play simultaneously. Okay, Nintendo, pitch in like, hey, go buy our new peripheral. Fun in the sun. Both my children are Nintendo fans and spend hours indoors perfecting their games. As residents of Federal Way, Washington, we get about 56 sunny days a year. And as a mom, I feel obligated to shoo them outside on those rare days with the sunshines. Thank goodness for the Game Boy. Now I can prop them against the deck railing outdoors in the sun, and they'll never have to miss a beat. Although the Game Boy is great for outdoor play, we do not recommend exposing the screen to direct sunlight for prolonged periods of time. The sun sounds like it's great for your kids though, but be sure to turn them over every so often so they tan evenly as they're propped against the railing. Classic. What do we got here? We got a couple more pictures. What's going on in this situation? NES Santy Saver. I'm writing to express the pure enjoyment I received from your Nintendo Entertainment System this year. While we were vacationing in US, our home was destroyed by the rampage Hurricane Hugo. We returned to St. Croix, US VI 13 days after Hugo struck to find very little left of our home. We had lost virtually everything. Weeks later, when we found a temporary apartment with an electrical generator, I plugged the NES in. To my delight, Mario and Luigi appeared on the screen. With no television service, our Nintendo games were our only source of entertainment for months after Hugo. Thank you for bringing a ray of sunshine to the bleakest time of our lives. The NES saved our sanity, and I'm enclosing pictures of our house and my childlike delight at discovering that my NES worked. I'm trying to look at the couch. It almost looked like Ninja Turtle bed sheets, but it is not. Thanks for sharing your experience with us, John. We're glad that both you and your NES survived the disaster of Hurricane Hugo and wish you the best luck in the future. Well, there we go. That's a good ending. All right, we got 2 more letters right here. My wife and I gave ourselves a Nintendo Entertainment System for Christmas in 1988. We thought it would be fun for our grandkids when they visit. Well, it's not hard to guess what happened. We were instantly hooked. We not only found it very entertaining, but it has helped us close the generation gap. You can talk Nintendo with almost every young person. While we have our own favorites, my wife and I play most of the games together. One runs the controls, the other draws maps or helps as needed. I sent you a picture of our Brittany. She's AKC registered. Sleeping Princess Zelda. She really doesn't play, but she likes to sit in our favorite playing chair. Together, my wife and I completed Hudson's Soft Adventure Island, Metal Gear, and The Legend of Zelda, amongst others. Our next challenge is Ultima. I don't know if that makes us power players, but we think it's pretty good for the old folks. Bob and Fran from Portland, Oregon. There's the dog, Sleeping Princess Zelda, poses on the playing throne with a NES Advantage. All right, Jonathan, 6, is a phenomenal Nintendo Power player. He has been playing the Nintendo Entertainment System for less than a year and has successfully completed 16 games, including Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Bros. 2, DuckTales, Bubble Bobble, Simon's Quest, Mega Man 2, Wizards and Warriors, Metroid, Life Force, and the Three Stooges. What is most interesting about John is at the age of 6, he has truly learned to read while concentrating on such games as Dragon Warrior, The Legend of Zelda, The Adventure of Link, and Faxanadu. His favorite bedtime reading is Nintendo Power. It is not unusual to find John in his room or at a kitchen table reading Power. Although he can't read every word, he understands the ideas. His concentrating is so intense. He can play Nintendo games for hours at one stretch. He can't wait to get Super Mario 3 and is now working on The Adventure of Link. John truly deserves to be a Nintendo Power player. There's a picture of John right there with a sweet Mario shirt. Final Fantasy. The first one, and not the last. Classic for sure. The Final Fantasy Treasure Quest continues. The adventure goes beyond anything you've ever known. Final Fantasy redefines the limits of both adventure and role-playing games by plunging you into a world brimming with its own history and legends. It is a vast world that pits you against deserts and oceans, as well as armies of chaos. Solving the puzzles and winning the battles are not an easy task, but they're not impossible either. Get a quick start using the Explorer's Handbook that comes with the game. A quick review of Final Fantasy's early stages follows this page. Then it's on to greater challenges by land, sea, and air as the 4 light warriors pursue their destiny. Don't forget to read about July-August Final Fantasy Treasure Quest and how you might win real treasures. Nice. So then it breaks down here. From Corneria to Crescent Lake, the quest begins. There's so much to see and do in Final Fantasy that even the 84-page Explorer's Handbook provided with the game can't cover everything. The following 3 pages list the major tasks facing the Light Warriors during the early stages. If you're just starting out, use the information as a quick play guide. If you've already reached Crescent Lake, you might want to see if you missed anything valuable. There is so much treasure lying around that missing a critical treasure chest is easy to do. Get your bearings using the full world map on pages 12 and 13. If you missed the first installment of the Treasure Quest, be sure to look back at your May-June issue. Contest details can also be found in the May-June issue of Nintendo Power. So it's giving you a little bit of tips and tricks on where you can find certain items in the game. I do want to go back to play this. I did pick up the Pixel Remaster of, I think it's Final Fantasy 1 through 6, so that could be something in the future as a future playthrough. But back in the day, I don't think I owned Final Fantasy. I think my friend did. I had Dragon Warrior and Highlight were my RPG games. Dragon Warrior, pretty good. Highlight, I've grown to like it. A lot of people give it some slack. All right, what else we got here? Well, what's going on with Crescent Lake? If you have the gold, this is the place to buy great silver weapons and armor. It's also the town where you meet Lucan. Follow the woodland path to the northeast corner of town to the Circle of Sages. They'll tell you all about the world's trouble and give you a canoe. Buy a house in the tool shop. Just get a full-on house in the tool shop. So we'll have to remember this this Nintendo Power when we do our playthrough. Here's your world map. Looks great. Airship, canoe, ship. So it shows your legend right there. The world of Final Fantasy is a sprawling place with every imaginable landscape, from impassable mountain ranges to serpent-filled seas. This is a world made for adventure. Using the trick taught to you by the broom in Mato's cave, push B, select. You can see your party's present position in the world as well as other key locations. Other useful maps are supplied in the Explorer's Handbook, supplied with the game pack, to help you cover the many trenches territories. One of the most exciting parts of Final Fantasy is exploring new regions. Going where no one has gone before, your maps will prove invaluable. Being such a vast world like this, and having all those like paperwork stuff back in the day, I bet it was an excellent adventure. Like if you were into D&D stuff and now this is that much more into the video game, like doing it on Atari, you really had to use your imagination because of all the squares it was. With Nintendo, you get a little bit improved graphics, and I could just see going on the adventure, maybe some of your friends having the game and sharing tips and tricks that they found. And I'm sure this could take you all summer to beat. So certainly a fun game, and great to have Nintendo Power on your side to help you along. Here are some more maps of the levels, right? This is still Final Fantasy, yep. And again, I always love this little side art that they do here with the enemies, wherever it is. This way you have the pixel version. Here's what the art was meant to look like. The ice cave, the Cardia Islands, Castle of Ordeal. Pretty in-depth little guides here for sure, and would certainly take you a ton of time to get through this whole game. Unsure how many hours, but quite a few. All right, we're moving on to a Howard and Nestor comic break. Gee, do you think you forgot anything? I always say it's best to be prepared. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Then you better be prepared for a headache. Hey, those are the guys from Super C. I thought there was something familiar about this place. What's wrong with you guys? You should be blasting aliens and saving humanity. Yeah, well, you look pretty alien to me. Name the capital, Kansas. No alien would know that. I thought you two were supposed to be faster and bolder than anyone, but you're not even faster than a boulder. It's been a rough day. Wichita is the capital. First, it was robotic guns, then aliens with jetpacks, and now it's these blasted rocks. I'm beat. Lost your nerve, eh? Good thing I have enough for all of us. That's true. He has a lot of nerve. Come on, let's rock and roll. He must be very brave or very stupid. Yes, he is. Help! I suppose we could try to catch him with my blanket? I think he's going to hit further to the right. No, I think he'll hit over here. Hold on, I have this tilt. Oh, was this? Hold on, I have just the thing. Good God. He's got a little mechanism here. Oh, is it a camera? This blanket will never hold. Where did you get it? Rags R Us? No, I got it at a thrift shop. Listen, guys, take 2 steps to the left. Thrift shop? You must mean flea market. You never know when surveying instruments will come in handy. Come on, I'll show you how to get past those rocks. This guy's better than an advantage. Yeah, he has a turbo mouth. If you jump straight up here, just to the right of where the boulder falls, it will miss you every time. But first, you should make some preparations. I should have prepared air plugs. It's vital that you test the direction and velocity of the wind and make sure that all your loose objects are secure. After that, check your straps. Finally, make a strong double knot of your shoelace. Nice shoes. Shut up, just do it. I'll bet Mr. Preparedness didn't plan on fleas. Typically, he takes the credit and it gets all the fleas. We did it, thanks, Howard. That's why I put flea powder on my bow tie. Classic. All right, the summer Consumer Electronics Show of 1990. The Summer CES in Chicago's McCormick Center is even bigger than the hot games for the winter holiday season are announced and displayed. Wait, let's just go this way? Hold on. It's bigger than the Monster Winter Show in Las Vegas, and we're not just talking about the floor area. This is where the hot games for the winter holiday season are announced and displayed. Here's a quick look at some of the games and products we thought were particularly cool. We get a look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sequel. Turtle Mania hit the CES at the Konami Ultra display. We got a chance to take a sneak peek at an early prototype of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, which is actually the title of the NES sequel. The half-shell heroes have a whole lot of excitement in store for you in this one, which has 2-player simultaneous play and 3 levels that weren't in the arcade game. Cowabunga, dude. Why do they spell it with a K? Because of Konami? I don't know. So you got 3 screenshots of that with them fighting here. You're fighting Rocksteady, so that's the end of the first level there, the first boss battle. So I would be stoked to see this as a kid for sure. I'd be like, oh, I love the arcade game. We got Mega Man 3. In this sequel, Dr. Wily joined the side of good and helped Dr. Wright with a top secret project. Mega Man's mission will be interplanetary scavenger hunt for parts needed for the Doctor's project. The same development team which designed the first 2 Mega Man hits is sure to strike gold again. The Miracle Keyboard. One of the big surprise releases at the Summer CES was the Miracle Keyboard from Mindscape and Software Toolworks. And this amazing accessory comes complete with an electronic keyboard which plugs into your NES and provides a full range of musical sounds. The Miracle Keyboard is also a truly educational device. Crowds of spectators gathered around the display, and this unit should be hot. I've come across a few of these. I don't own one in my collection. Perhaps I'd love to get one. That'd be an interesting live stream to do for sure, but playing keyboard on the NES. Dr. Mario. Mario, the world's versatile hero, is back in a new Nintendo game, Dr. Mario. This time he's out to wipe out a pesky virus colony. Dr. Mario is a super puzzle game like Tetris. 2 players can join in a frenzy of Dr. Mario. And for even competition between players of different skill levels, each player can start with a different number of viruses. If you have Tetris fever, Dr. Mario is the cure. Power Mission, Mega Man action in the tradition of Mega Man 2. So we just get 2 screenshots here. I don't know if I ever seen that game, Power Mission. It does look like Mega Man. And Deja Vu, a sequel to Shadowgate. Deja Vu features the same great gameplay, but with a modern-day detective story background. And of course, The Simpsons are coming to the NES. The dynamic duo of Acclaim and LJN recently merged. Have some hot titles in the works, including an NES game based on The Simpsons. Yes, that's right, everybody's favorite nighttime animated comedy family. The Simpsons will star in an NES game early next year. Bart Simpson discovers that his town is being invaded by aliens disguised as humans. He must go around and convince his neighbors that these innocent-looking people are actually invaders, while trying to avoid having a cow, man. It sounds fun. It does sound fun. I've live streamed this. It took me 2 hours to beat the first stage. Just the first stage. I wish they would have made it more simple or more like the Turtles beat 'em up game, because you had the beat 'em up arcade game with the Simpsons, right? I feel like it didn't translate great, and a lot of people were probably let down and never got past that first level. Beetlejuice coming out, NES and Game Boy games starring that kooky, spooky spirit. Beetlejuice are on their way from LJN. Oh, looky here, and then a little peek at Laser Scope Voice Command Stereo Headset. This unusual controller from Konami was turning heads at CES, where you can wear it and yell fire and it will shoot. Game Boy. Game Boy was a big hit in Chicago. From sports to RPGs, this handheld sensation had it all. Action and adventure. Game highlights included DuckTales from Capcom, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Skate or Die from Ultra, and Dragon's Lair, The Legend from CSG ImageSoft. Look for more on these and other hot games from the summer CES and future issues of Nintendo Power. Here we are, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. This is a great spread right here. Gives your little power player meter and what they scored it. Whole lot of information on the side, and it gives you a map right here on stage 1. Join Chip and Dale in a wild and wacky adventure to save Gadget from that big city bad guy, Fat Cat. So it was Fat Cat. Those amazing pint-sized detectives, the Rescue Rangers, are ready for their greatest adventure ever in the latest Disney character game from Capcom. That frightful feline Fat Cat has kidnapped their pal Gadget. Now Chip and Dale have got to face a slew of mechanical dogs and robot rats to save her from Fat Cat's clutches. Jump into action and go for a chipmunk-sized romp through the human-sized world. The heroes are ready for a wild adventure with help from the whole terrific team of Rescue Rangers. Teamwork is a must. Grab a friend and take off with both Chip and Dale, or go solo. 2-player action makes for 10 times the fun. Certainly a great 2-player game, playing both together. This way you don't have to wait. Some of the 2-player games early on where player 1 would play until they die, then player 2 would play. 2 players at the same time, fantastic. And it's great, you can pick up each other too. If one's slow, you just pick them up, I'll run with you. How to play. Here are the basic techniques you must master if you're going to have a fighting chance at making it all the way to the Fat Cat's hideout. Quick, hide in here. Pick up a crate and press down on the control pad to hide inside. Throw things. Try throwing crates, steel boxes, and anything else you can find at Fat Cat's Goons. Pick up flowers and save stars. For every 50 flowers or 10 stars you collect, you'll get a 1-up. Look everywhere for them. The Rescue Rangers think they're going to help Mandy find her lost cat, but in fact, Fat Cat is scheming to kidnap Gadget. Fat Cat has set plenty of traps, so be on the lookout for anything fishy. Start in the park and move on. So then it gives you your breakdown here. Toss everything in sight and cause havoc for Fat Cat's goons. Jump around for secret stars. Gives you a breakdown of each of the levels. I always enjoyed the Zone B here, coffee shop and kitchen capers, where you're running through the kitchen sinks and everything is really big because you're small, so you're jumping on the stove tops and all that. Very cool. Zone C, library disturbance. Zone D, chipmunks in Toyland. Wreck the robot. This mechanical wonder has sturdy armor, but if you aim for the lights on its front panel, you'll be able to send it to the scrap heap. Watch out for a shower of toy balls. Look for a hole in the ball shower. So this is the boss for that there, and in case you were getting stuck on it, a little tip right there. What are we saying here? Whoa, I need a break from all of this jumping. Come on, Dale, there's no time to waste. Zone E, the rural romp. Rural, say that 3 times fast. The rural romp. Sink the fish, the green grouper. At the end of Zone E, swims fast and sends out an electrical storm of sparks. Think fast and toss the ball as soon as you have a clean shot. Couple more zones here. Does it bring you all the way to the, Fat Cat's Casinos, Zone G. The only sure thing in Zone G gambling room is that the clientele are mean and nasty. Watch for hat-tossing gators and rough-housing rhinos. The cat is no match for the Rescue Rangers. As soon as you get into the room, jump over the first spike and move to the center. Then toss the ball straight up and clobber the cat. When he throws the ball straight down, move to the left slightly and redirect the flow. You've done well, Rescue Rangers, but you'll never get through my hideout. Do they show the hideout? Looks like they don't show it all. So they leave you wanting for more. Wait, there's more. After you clean out Zone G, you'll rocket to another area. Take on a cast of crazy crabs and flying squirrels in the Zone H maze of pipes and blocks. Electric fans make for windy conditions in Zone I. Watch out for crate-spitting pelicans, too. You're a fat cat's home base. At last, Zone J is riddled with danger. Take it one step at a time. Go get him, Rescue Rangers. Fat Cat is waiting. You're no match for me. Great game for sure. 2-player action. Great rental game. Can't say anything else about it. Moving on. Snake's Revenge. Solid Snake is on a new mission beyond the edge. Did you guys get into these games? I never played Snake's Revenge. Played Metal Gear. Didn't really know how it worked, so I didn't get very far in it. I'd love to kind of go back, maybe follow a full walkthrough or use the Nintendo Power to beat it. Snake's Revenge kind of looking like the same gameplay and everything here. Does provide you a nice map of the area. Back behind enemy lines, Solid Snake has his work cut out for him. The toughest commando since Rambo is on his own. Although he might get a little help from his friends, to win through to the end, you'll need cat-like reflexes and at least 9 lives. Luck helps. Rescue the prisoners in the clearings before trying to enter the building. In Metal Gear, no one could put an end to this one-man tornado. Your job in the jungle is to rescue the 2 prisoners and get into the building. Collect rations far to the left first, then go after the prisoners and ammo. When you get near the lower door, you'll see a call message flashing on your screen. Switch to transceiver and get your message. Then watch and wait. The call message flashes if you approach the door on the lower part of the screen. This certainly would help me out in understanding the game if I had rented it for the weekend and didn't know what to do. I would be certain to go to my Nintendo Power trusty issue and see what the pros had to say. Good save right there. So it has a couple more maps right here going through, and that leads us to our classified information, Nintendo Top Secret. We got some codes for Knight Rider, Double Dragon, Last Stage Continue, Double Dragon 2, the sequel. Here it is. Our agents have last discovered the code that will allow you to begin again in stage 7, 8, and 9. When the game over message appears, pick up controller 2 and press the A button twice and the B button twice. Then press down, up, right, and left on the control pad and wait. In a few seconds, you'll be given the opportunity to continue or start over. If you're playing a 1-player game, you can still select a 2-player game, 2-player B, and finish off the other player's fighters, building up to 7 fighters in reserve. Yes, so if you start a 2-player game, B mode, you can hit each other. So what they're saying is start the game, then you beat up the other player, and when you kill him, you'll get his lives. So then this way you'll have 7 lives to be able to beat the game. So pretty clever. Super C, 10 is better than 3. Blast the alien armies with the strength of 10 men. You can triple your chances in this super challenging game with a great life increasing code. When the title screen appears, press right, left, down, and up on the control pad. Then press the A button and B button and start. Your game will begin with 10 fighters in reserve. If you want to play a 2-player game with this increased number of combatants, first press the select button to move the cursor to 2-player option, then enter the code. And it also has a sound and music demo. It's pretty neat. This way you could go through all the tracks if you wanted them. Maybe you can make a cassette tape, mixtape. A Styanax, you get a stage selects, and invincibility. There you go, without even having to use a Game Genie. Instead of skipping stages, you might decide to fight through each chapter of the game with unbeatable strength. Our agents have discovered a move that will build your defense to the point where enemy contact is completely ineffective. At the title screen, press up, 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 down, left, right, up again on the control pad. Then press start to begin. When you come across the strange creatures of Realma, their offensive powers will cause you no damage at all. Fight your way to the evil wizard and save the princess from his grasp. Watch your step through. Your character will be invincible, but you will still lose a life if you fall past the bottom of the screen. There we go. Could do a playthrough of that. Invincibility. Just can't go into a pit. And a couple more codes as well. I guess the only issue with this is remembering, what code is in what issue, in what game. I guess, when these are coming out, you probably didn't have many games, or maybe you were going to rent a game for the weekend and you were trying to choose, so you're like, Styanax has 2 codes in this month's issue. Maybe I'll hit the store, rent that one, and I can use this code here. Solstice, the quest for the Staff of Demos. A daring trial of wits and skill begins. Another game I never played. It has this isometric view where you're at an angle playing with your character. And let's see what it's all about. In the fantasy world of Solstice, a new game from CSG Imagesoft. The evil wizard Morbius has taken a fair princess prisoner. Her only hope for rescue is Shadax, the sorcerer, who must find the piece of the mystic staff in order to gain the power needed to defeat Morbius. Shadax learns the shards of the staff are hidden in the many rooms of Castle Rock, an ancient fortress of sinister disposition. Solstice follows the action of Shadax, explores the castle, one of the most puzzling and unique fantasy locations in video games. So it gives you kind of a little map of the rooms here and some of the items you could get, the potions, how to light, the 4 keys. Plot your courage with the magic map. The subscreen map lets you know where you've gone and also indicates the locations of secret entrances and of rooms above and below the one you're in. Rooms shown on the map with a white outline have areas above and or below them that are worth your while to explore. Moving on to Crystalis, however you want to say it. Another game I never played. I believe it takes inspiration from quite a few games here, and I heard it's pretty good. You've been frozen in time for 100 years. When you wake up to find the world has been transformed, monsters and magic are everywhere, and the kingdom of Dragonia is seizing power. It seems that you're not only one who's been warming up. Now that you've been thawed out, you'll begin to unravel the mysterious hidden in this alternate world and find items of power. Friends and wise people along the way will help you. Give a name to the sleeping hero from the past. The battery pack can store 2 separate adventures, so you and a friend can play. The Valley of the Wind. Enter the cavern. Explore the cave to collect the Ball of Wind. Activate it to give your sword a higher power level. Using the Ball of Wind, the Sword of Wind can blow down barriers in the cave. Just raise the sword's power and fire. The Vampire. A lot is at stake when you meet the evil vampire who lives in the cave. Use the full power of the Sword of Wind and make sure your life level is full at the start. There we go. So you get some pretty in-depth maps here. Especially here, you're like, all right, start at A, it goes to B, to C. It could kind of get confusing, and if you're creating your own maps, this certainly helps. All right, moving on. Oh, do we have a Castlevania poster right here? Castlevania Dracula's Curse. Right there. Little fold-out poster action. What's on the back here is just more of Solstice stuff, breaking it down, but pretty clean poster. The Game Boy, showcasing a whole bunch of games. This is a great little poster right here. Double Dragon on the Game Boy. Take a swing at the latest adaptation of the monster of street fighting games. Trade West, the people who brought you the original Double Dragon for the NES. Take Billy Lee on a new fight to save Marion from the Black Shadow Warriors. 2 players can choose to match skills in a closed arena. The street is crawling with Tough looking for a fight. Don't want to disappoint them. Plow through the boulevard of broken bullies and move on to the warehouse. This gives you a breakdown of the levels. Wear out a Bobo. This guy is strong. The only way to beat him is by punching and running. Eventually, you'll wear him down. Continue your mission on the wooded road and watch out for enemy ambushes. You're on your way to the headquarters of the Black Shadow Warriors. Keep fighting. This martial artist has the same basic moves as before: punch, uppercut, spin kick, hair pull, elbow punch, kick, jump kick, and the over-shoulder throw. Knock out the competition with a mix of punching and kicking moves that make them wish they'd pay more attention in Black Shadow Warrior training. The basic punch and kick are your meat and potatoes, while you learn to make some fancier moves. After a couple of good straight punches to the same enemy, you'll knock them to the ground with a powerful uppercut. Let loose an elbow punch by changing directions while swinging. When you've got your opponent by the hair, change directions and you'll toss them over your shoulder. To jump kick, push the A and B buttons simultaneously. Master these moves and you'll be forced to be reckoned with. So it gives you a 2-page breakdown of Double Dragon. Wizards and Warriors, Fortress of Fear. I didn't play much of this one here. I like to go back to it and enjoy the Wizards and Warriors games, especially the first one. This new version of Wizards and Warriors for Game Boy will knock your armored socks off with fun and action. Kuros, the hopping hero from 2 NES versions of the hit Wizards and Warriors series, leaps into action once more. Amazingly, the action is very close to the NES games. Kuros climbs to new levels and battles enemies with his sword. Keys and treasures come in handy along the way. And at the end of the evil wizard, Malachi awaits. Bats in the Belfry. When the bat comes head on, drop to a lower ledge to avoid its first attack. Then jump on the ledge where you enter the stage and stab at it. Jump, leap, hop, skip, or bounce your way to victory. Kuros must stay on his toes to survive the Fortress of Fear. His most critical skill will be accurate jumping. A few tips can help. 1. For long jumps, stand on a ledge so Kuros' toes stick over the edge. Leap to a platform when the platform is moving down. Defeat monsters that could get in your way before you jump. Make maneuvers in the air. There's your tips for that game. We have Final Fantasy Legend on the Game Boy coming out. Wheel of Fortune, Lock and Chase, The Amazing Spider-Man, Penguin Wars, and Dexterity, another puzzle game. Discover a world of adventure in the first Game Boy RPG from Square. A great tower casts its shadow on the land. Legend says that this tower leads to paradise, but no one that has entered has ever returned. Would you? The time has come for you to scale the tower and find out for yourself if paradise exists. Princesses in the 4 largest floors hold the keys to the tower doors. Form a party of 4 adventurers and find a way to collect the keys. What's Spider-Man up to? Join in on the web-slinging action as Peter Parker, alias Spider-Man, goes against some of his most feared foes in a mad search through the city for his girlfriend Mary Jane. Challenge the likes of Mysterio, the Green Goblin, and Dr. Octopus in 6 super stages. It's from LJN. Finishing up with Pipe Dreams and Paperboy on the Game Boy. New for Game Boy, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Ultra is working on a 5-stage adventure for the Heroes in a Half Shell, which is sure to be a huge hit. The turtles are drawn very big with super detail, and play control is excellent. Cowabunga, here comes the turtles. F1 Race. All the excitement of Formula One racing is packed into the pocket-sized format of Game Boy, with this hot new title under development from Nintendo. Go for the trophy with your own F1 racer. Take a look at what's in store for the future! Previews, new titles, Castlevania 3, Maniac Mansion, and Mission Impossible. Wow, here we go. I'd be stoked to see this growing up. Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, the Belmont family tradition continues. Look at this spread right here. A new gothic epic. Konami is bringing one of the greatest NES adventures settings back to the NES this fall with Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, set 100 years before Simon's quest. An ancestor, Simon Belmont, has been summoned to foil the Count's plans in the 15th century. Although it resembles the original Castlevania at first glance, Dracula's Curse has better graphics, sound, and best of all, a huge new world full of hair-raising creatures to explore. Friends of the family. A century before Simon's heroic deeds, the Belmont family has been driven out of Castlevania. But when Dracula returns through evil sorcery, the people call for a hero. A lone member of the Belmont family remains in Castlevania, an ancestor of Simon, Trevor Belmont. Although he starts out his quest alone, he will encounter 3 unique and powerful friends to help him defeat Dracula. Here's Trevor Belmont, heroic master of the whip. The vigilant vampire hunting tradition of the Belmont family is carried on by Trevor Belmont, a tough fighter with a heroic heart. Trevor bears no ill will towards the people of Castlevania for disowning his family and goes to their rescue. Grant Dynasty. Wall climbing thief. We got Sypha and Alucard as well. There's your 3 helpers that you can choose to come with you. More super features make Castlevania 3 a winner. After you complete an area of Castlevania, you'll be given a choice of routes to take. In a certain points of the game, you'll meet one of your friends who you can take on your adventure. After you meet another character, you can switch from Trevor to that character and use his special powers. A big game for a big hero. And easy to use passwords too. The Castle of Dracula's Curse. The Castlevania Dracula's Curse is a vast land full of treacherous terrain and foul enemies. Trevor and his companions must thoroughly explore every road and location in the land to foil Dracula's evil plans of European domination. Castlevania 3's password system is somewhat similar to that used in Mega Man 2, in that it uses a grid with symbols on it instead of letters and numbers. With no letters to confuse or miscopy, it makes entering your password correctly a cinch. Yeah, but then you gotta sketch out a freaking heart, a whip, all these things instead of just writing numbers. At least with Mega Man, it was just circles, right? And then you just use the grid. What is Dracula saying here? So, mortal man, again foolishly pits himself against my undead forces. As I defeated all the others, so shall I defeat you and your puny helpers. You have been warned, Trevor Belmont. Moving on to Maniac Mansion. This was a classic game on the PC brought over to the NES here, where you're traversing the mansion and unfolding the story as you go. And there's certainly different paths you can do. I didn't really know how to play it much growing up or where to go, so probably using this would have helped a lot. You got Sid, Dave, Bernard, Jeff, Sandy, Michael, Razor, and Wendy is your crew. It's wild, it's weird, it's Maniac Mansion, the diabolical creation from Lucasfilm Games in Jalisco. It's a lot of stories wrapped up in one game, and ending is determined by your actions. It's cutscenes and an interface based on words. not buttons. It's horror and humor and hamsters on toast. Certainly a wild game for sure. And some good comedy in there. You can always just watch a playthrough now on YouTube if you just wanted to experience it that way instead of making the choices and stuff. But I couldn't get into it. I love the cover art and everything about it, but couldn't get into the gameplay for this here. And now the top 30 games of 1990 July/August in Nintendo Power Magazine. After 2 full years of covering the best games for the NES, we thought it would be fun to compare the hot games in that first issue with today's best. Back in July/August 1988, The Legend of Zelda was number 1. Punch-Out was number 2, and the third spot was held by Metroid. Check out our current leaders below. So number 1 currently, Super Mario Bros. 3. Talk about blowing away the competition. Super Mario Bros. 3 leaves them in the dust, more than tripling the points of the second place. Batman NES number 2. The Cape Crusader is out to clean up more than just Gotham City. He's doing pretty well on the NES too. Coming in at third, Super Mario Bros. 2. So 3 and 2 made the list. The second adventure of Mario and his friends remains a winner. No one seems to get tired of the World of Dreams. Wrapping up the rest of the list, Mega Man 2 came in at number 4. Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, number 5. Tetris is at number 6. The Legend of Zelda, number 7. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at number 8. Tecmo Bowl, number 9. And Shadowgate coming in at number 10. And then there's the list of 11 through 30. We won't go through them all, but it's always unique to see. And how they're scoring their points essentially is how they're ranking there. And here's your grid with the colors. So any green are favorites that have maintained their popularity among the top 30. So all these green games have been on the list for quite some time. Counselor's Corner. Super C. How do I deal with the pods in stage 7? I don't think I've made it to stage 7. If you get too close to the strange pods in this challenging stage, aliens will emerge and attack. To make sure they never come out, position yourself on the ledge before each pod and fire at them with the spreader. There will be an explosion if you're on target, but no noticeable damage to the pods. Continue the fire for about 10 seconds. When you approach the pods after the barrier barrage, you'll find that the aliens inside have been defeated. This one I never played. The Magic of Sherazad. Nope, never played that one. Here we go. Here's some Batman action right here. How do I defeat the dual container alarm in stage 4-4? At the heart of the abandoned laboratory, you'll find 2 heavily armed vehicles working together to defeat all intruders. In the corridor that leads to the alarm room, make sure that you jump up so that the ceiling is visible. Then stay on the right side of the drop claw, kneel and punch the drop bombs. Collect the items that the bombs have left and power up. As soon as you enter the alarm room, wall jump to the left edge of the center platform, face left and kneel. As the vehicles approach, punch them quickly. When the vehicles are opposing sides of the room, drop down to avoid crossfire, then quickly return. Just showing you there, a couple screenshots on there. After you defeat one of the vehicles, the other one will slide back and forth on the floor and shoot fire bombs upward. To combat this, change in attack methods. Drop to the floor, move to the far left, and fire at the vehicle. When the vehicle gets close, punch rapidly and finish it off. Nice, there you go, some tips in case you were stuck in Batman trying to get past some of the guys. New games, now available. Summer fun and games. Gotta enjoy this art here. I'll have to share this art. The fish playing Nintendo Under the Sea and Game Boy with some link cables. All right, what are the new games? We got Flight Simulation and All Out Action. Captain Skyhawk, this is what they're breaking it down. Blaze all over land with super controls. Earn credits to buy special weapons. Take on Fleet of Fighters. Dock for supplies, save the scientists. So it looks like, you know, they're trying to one up. Instead of Top Gun, you're just flying and shooting the planes and stuff. This adds quite a bit more elements to it. Blast off for a barrel roll multi-mission attack on enemy forces with a new kind of flight simulator. From Milton Bradley, really. As ace pilot Captain Skyhawk, you've got your work cut out for you. Soaring over 3D landscapes, destroying enemy camps, and saving scientists so that the secret weapon doesn't fall into the enemy hands. Fly steady, watch your speed, and get ready for a battle with a strange alien base. We got Little League Baseball. Baseball, and a great American pastime, has gained popularity around the world thanks in part to the Little League Baseball. To honor the 50th anniversary of Little League Baseball, SNK created Little League Baseball Championships, a great new baseball game that's similar enough to Baseball Stars to be a sequel or a prequel, but it has fresh features that make it a whole new ball game. So if you loved Baseball Stars, you basically play this and you're playing as little kids, so a little bit shorter. Win or lose, do your best, play ball. Then we got Spot. If you watch television, you're probably familiar with Spot, the mischievous prankster from the 7-Up commercials. In the ads, the Spot can pop up almost anywhere, so it was only a matter of time before it infested the NES. Arcadia Systems, a new NES license, is bringing out Spot, a board game style strategy challenge featuring the Spot. So they just kind of took another game and threw Spot into it. Not as clever as what the heck was the Dominoes game now? It's I'm blanking. Yo Noid was the Dominoes game. Dragon Spirit, here we go. In a fantasy world, Dragon Spirit, a demon's reign of terror, has plunged the people into despair. If this game followed the pattern of many action games, you would expect a muscle-bound warrior or sleek starship to come to the world's rescue. But no, the hero of this game is a ferocious, fire-breathing dragon. From Bandai comes this faithful adaptation of the classic arcade fly and fight game, Dragon Spirit. And that's it. We got the NES Acheivers. We got anyone from Connecticut here with some top scores or completions. Going through the list here. I don't see any yet in this month's issue. Just going pretty quick. Yeah, no one from Connecticut. No one from Connecticut. We got top scores for 1943, 720, The Adventures of Bayou Billy, Bomberman, A Boy and His Blob. A lot of the games you could just finish and not scores. Take your best shot. Did you ever wonder how to stack up against other NES players on your favorite games? You can check it out right here in every issue. We'll print out the outstanding scores we receive from our readers. Would you like to see your score in the next issue? First, we need evidence of your great achievement, so be sure to capture it on film. Then they give you a breakdown of basically how to film it, but you can send it in to the Nintendo Power NES Acheivers, and maybe you'll get into the issue. The Nintendo Power Strategy Guide series continues. Each Nintendo Power Strategy Guide goes to the heart of the game, locating and uncovering all the hidden secrets in one comprehensive 84-page book, with game maps to help you find your way and warn of hidden dangers, super tips to boost your score and your chances of survival, secret techniques for collecting extra lives. There are but a few of things you'll find not only in the Ninja Gaiden II strategy guide, completing in August, but in every Nintendo Power strategy guide. So it gives you a full breakdown on Nintendo Power strategy guides. I don't know if you guys would be interested in me covering the Nintendo Power strategy guide, since it is just one game, kind of breaking it down. I do like to dive through all the different issues and different segments in the regular Nintendo Power. But these were certainly great to have. I've used this one, the Super Mario Bros. 3 one, extensively to get through the game. Knowledge, the key to victory. An ancient Chinese philosopher, Sun Tzu, once said, "If you know your enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the outcome of 100 battles." The Ninja Gaiden II strategy guide reveals everything you need to know about Ryu's ninja techniques and the dark powers of his fearsome enemies. With some great screenshots right here. "If you dare challenge me, a star, you'll need all the help you can get." Video Shorts Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. I'm still unclear what Video Shorts is supposed to be representing. Like, they're not videos, it's in a magazine, right? But it gives you a breakdown of basically the game itself. So here we have Adventures in Magic Kingdom. Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom comes to the NES with an adventure through 5 of the park's biggest attractions and a test of Disney's trivia. Mickey Mouse needs your help to unlock the castle and to find the golden key to the gate before you can start the big parade. Your journey to retrieve the 6 silver keys to the castle will take you through Autopia, Space Mountain, the Pirates of the Caribbean, the Haunted Mansion, and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. As you walk on the one attraction to the next, you'll find the last silver key by answering questions about Disney characters and movies. The game includes a number of different activities, which vary in difficulty. Some are basic, while others will take a lot of practice to master. Gear up for a challenging adventure and make your way to the Magic Kingdom. So fun little game. I'd love to do a little playthrough of that. Rad Racer 2 and World GP, 2 racing games breaking down there, as well as Wizardry, Arceus Ring. Almost looks like a Zelda game here. Explore 125 enemy pack stages in an action game geared for beginning players. Clear each stage of enemies using arrows and elven treasures. Then grab the key and open the door to the next stage. There are some tricky places, so it pays off to look for hidden passages and to use the treasure wisely. Take your time to avoid enemy fire. So I wonder if you're just going screen by screen, or if it is like Zelda, where you're just in like an open world aspect. We'll have to check that one out. I'll add it to my list of games to check out. Pinball Quest, pinball game for the NES. Wall Street Kid. I don't know what kid wanted this game, but Wall Street Kid made it to the NES. Heavy Shredding, a skiing game for the NES. Oh, we got Boulder Dash here. Dig up the diamond mines and pick up precious gems in a race against the clock and menacing mine dwellers. If you're quick and can carefully dig around dangers of the mines and really clean up. There's a lot of similarities to Dig Dug here, only in this game you don't have an air hose to inflate enemies if they get too close. You've got to rely on your own fast reflexes to dig yourself out of the jam. This looks pretty interesting. Yeah, I never played Boulder Dash before. One of the games they got: Bad News Baseball, Battle Chess, Jeopardy, Pictionary, Silkworm? Okay, it's like an airplane game. Let's see. Choose from 2 different on-the-go solo mission. Okay, reading it wrong. Choose from 2 different vehicles in a 9-stage mission to take out the notorious MHC-2 computer. Pilot the G-Cobra helicopter with twin cannons, or drive the B-Panther Jeep with an adjustable machine gun. 2 players can play at the same time with the Jeep and helicopter, or 1 player can go on a solo mission with either vehicle. Each stage features confrontation with the MHC-2 supercharged robots. That sounds pretty cool. Reminds me a lot of Jackal. I really enjoyed Jackal, and I wish they had made a sequel. So Silkworm, might have to check that out. Image Fight, The Last Starfighter, based on the movie, and Mechanized Attack. Both of these look like shooters here. That brings us to NES Journals, behind the scenes at Lucasfilms. What are they cooking up here? When Lucasfilms is mentioned, most people think of Luke Skywalker, Indiana Jones, not Dr. Fred and Nurse Edina, but they will now. now that Lucasfilms is creating games for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Unless you're a fan of PC games, you might not know that Lucasfilm Games has been designing some of the finest and funniest computer software since 1982. It's all part of George Lucas's vision to build a multimedia family entertainment company production with films, games, theme park attractions, musical recordings, special effects, innovative educational programs. To help stimulate and create of Lucasfilm's employees, he built the company headquarters at Skywalker Ranch in an isolated valley north of San Francisco. It seems that Star Wars and Raiders of the Lost Ark were just the beginning of an empire. As you might expect, Lucasfilm's games releases emphasize the importance of storytelling. Steve Arnold, vice president in charge of the video game division, says that Lucasfilm Games tries to present positive and creative problem solving within the context of a story. We think that a game can be just as rich as an entertainment environment as films or books, and that's what we're trying to achieve. Maniac Mansion, a PC hit since 1987, is now scheduled for release for the NES this fall from Jaleco, is a great example. In fact, the game has won many awards from PC publications, and TV show based on Maniac Mansion is now being planned. I don't think that ever came to fruition. That'd be pretty neat though, Maniac Mansion TV show. But storytelling is only one side of Lucasfilm Games equation. It's so having it called Lucasfilm Games, so awkward. Yeah, maybe they should have chose a different name, Lucasfilm Games. Kind of redundant, but. And here's a nice showcase of Nintendo Power Fest 1990. Wow. Just to see all the like memorabilia here. I bet you none of these hats survived anything. NWC right there. Participants show off their semi-finalist caps in front of the competition stage. Looks like we got some game counselors answering questions in the Super Stage show. Fans talk with game counselor Ben Smith. And again, they have the similar style jacket here. Shout out to Bull Airs, who did this replica of it with Mario on the back. Certainly love it. I've seen the original counselor jackets on display and they look fantastic. So love seeing them here. The Nintendo World Championships have undergone a name change to show that there's more to this traveling showcase of Nintendo Mania than competition. Introducing Nintendo Power Fest 1990. Thousands of players have already participated, playing the hottest new games for the NES and Game Boy, talking to Nintendo game counselors in person, and learning what the future holds for the NES. The Power Walk features new and upcoming games from 17 licensees, including Castlevania III from Konami, The Punisher from LJN, and many more. At the Super Stage, game counselors let players in on their most guarded gameplay secrets. There's also a magic show, a power pad demonstration presented by Reebok, the Nintendo Fruit Snacks video booth where participants can purchase a video of themselves dancing to a Super Mario Bros. Rap, and a lounge for parents to relax while the rest of the family sees the show. I mean, they thought of it all there. Looks like we got a nice statue of Mario. A familiar friend welcomes visitors to the Nintendo Power Fest 1990. It's a fun time for everyone, playing and competing. Look at all the vintage goodness of those t-shirts there. Those kids are having a blast for sure. And here it's all set up. Oh shoot, look at Star Tropics. We just live streamed this on Russly and beat it. Great summer game for sure. And it looks like Super Spike V-Ball is also on display. So many games, so little time. Eager players stroll through the Power Walk. Some Nintendo Power Fest 1990 attendees participated in the Nintendo World Championship, which are staged at the show. Competitors have 6 minutes to collect 50 coins in Super Mario Bros., complete the first track in Rad Racer, and get as many points playing Tetris as they can in the remaining time. 3 finalists from each city are invited to the National Nintendo World Championships in Orlando, Florida, which will be held in December. Check your local newspaper to see if Nintendo Power Fest is coming your way, or call 1-900-HOT for NWC for information. A charge of 50 cents per minute will be added to your phone bill, so make sure you have permission for whoever's paying the bill. And we got one more picture over here. Participants zip through Rad Racer on the competition stage. And again, very similar to when we saw the movie The Wizard, kind of whole over-the-top setup with the CRT TVs and the big screen TVs. I'm sure they had some smoke machines going in there, and the energy was hyped. On to the Pack Watch, a look into the future of NES game packs. All the summer and fall releases we've been finding out about have really kept our pack watchers busy. In addition to all the great NES games, we've also noticed many exciting recent developments in other areas of video entertainment that we thought we'd let you in on. For a real insider's look at what's in the future for your NES, read on. Capcom has an action-packed lineup. The ever-popular Capcom continues to crank out the NES hits. Their fall lineup provides action for players of all ages. Street Fighter 2010, The Final Fight. Kind of a dud, I think, but fans of the arcade hit should look out for the NES sequel, Street Fighter 2010, The Final Fight. Are they saying it's a sequel to Street Fighter, the fighting game? I think that's what they're hinting at. This Street Fighter martial arts game tells the story of Ken's revenge. But the real action isn't in the story, it's in the play. Right from the start, Ken is in deep trouble with robots and hungry piranha. Your ability to flip, spin, leap, and even fire downward is your advantage over the aliens. Little Nemo, the Dream Master. Little Nemo searches a dream world for his playmate, the Princess of Slumberland. But to get through Slumberland requires some special moves and generous nature. For instance, if Nemo feeds candy to his furry friends, they'll share their special abilities with him. It's no surprise that Nemo doesn't want to wake up. You won't either. And we got Solar Jetman, a classic for sure, just around the corner. Nintendo licensing companies seem to snap up games designed by Brit developers Rare as quickly as they can, and for good reason. Rare has developed such hits as RC Pro-Am, Wizards and Warriors, and Iron Sword, to name a few. Trade West knows a great thing when they see it, and are bringing Rare's latest marvel, Solar Jetman, to the US. In Solar Jetman, you control an explorer capsule sent to scout the planets in search of gems, fuel, and parts of the Golden Warship. Many of these planets have extremely strong gravitational fields, so your small exploratory capsule must fight not only each planet's defenses, but also the uneasing pull of their gravity. Fortunately, you can upgrade your ship with more powerful engines, weapons using the gems you collect, and longtime arcade players will recognize some elements of Solar Jetman as being similar to the classic Gravitron. Solar Jetman's unique among NES games, play control, and game concept bring high marks from us here at Nintendo Power. Awesome. And then from Bandai, looks like they're working on a Dick Tracy game. I want to say this looks different from the NES game that we got. Let's see. Calling Dick Tracy. I'm on my way to the NES. Comics' most famous police detective is speeding his way from the page and silver screen to the small screen courtesy of your NES. What's the rush? Big Boy Caprice has started a gigantic crime wave, but Tracy doesn't have the evidence to put him away. That search for the clues takes Tracy into danger and intrigue, which you follow in the cinematic scenes. A nice touch that you can review old clues in these cinema scenes. Dick Tracy's action gameplay reminded us of Who Framed Roger Rabbit without the tunes. Frankenstein's monster rises from the grave, and Frankenstein the Monster Returns from Bandai. These cinematic drama in the story screens in Castlevania-like action in the play. The classic elements of horror abound, surprise danger, and reanimated matter running amok. So it looks like you get 3 screenshots here of Dick Tracy, and up in the corner, this is Frankenstein's monster rises from the grave, and Frankenstein monster rises returns. Pretty neat. Well, we got Silver Surfer down here just hanging out. Arcadia, who developed and programmed many games for personal computers, Coin-op machines and other Nintendo licenses is entering the NES arena with 2 titles based on hot characters. We've already told you about Spot in our new game section. Silver Surfer, which is scheduled to appear before the year's end, follows the cosmic adventures of the fan favorite from Marvel Comics, Galactus, Firelord. Other allies and adversaries of the Silver Surfer make appearances in the game's 14 levels that feature left to right and top-down scrolling, plus cinema scenes to tell the game's story. They didn't mention it was hard as heck. NES hard, for sure. Wheels, Wheels, Wheels. Capitalizing on Captain America's love of speed and imbalance, Electronic Arts and Ultra are planning games that feature skateboarding and roller derby action. The programmers are of the original Skate or Die. Electronic Arts are working hard on Skate or Die 2, The Search for Double Trouble. Like the original, Skate or Die 2 encompasses a wide variety of skating environments and situations, but instead of centering on skate shop, the different skating tasks are linked by a tongue-in-cheek but all too realistic story about the banning of skateboarding. The game is powered by a driving rock soundtrack. In roller games from Ultra, which may be described as Double Dragon on roller skates, the rough teams on the roller derby circuit have kidnapped the owner of Roller Games, a roller derby track. As a member of the T-Birds, Hot Flash, or Rockers, it's up to you to rescue him. You'll skate through the urban jungle, facing other warriors' wheels, as well as difficult jumps and rolling obstacles. Nice. And then Acme Coin-Op Show. What do they got in the works? Hot news. Although we like to concentrate on NES games in Nintendo Power, we still keep close tabs on the arcades. After all, many arcade games make their way to the NES. And Nintendo has a commercial division that markets the Play Choice video game jukebox. Play Choice right back there. Never heard it called a jukebox, just the Play Choice 10. Speaking of Play Choice, you can expect to see some hot new games on this machine before they hit the NES. Newest arrivals are Ninja Gaiden 2, Rescue Rangers, and Captain Skyhawk. And if you can't find Super Mario Bros. 3, chances are you haven't looked at your neighborhood Play Choice. One of the biggest trade shows for the coin-operated video game industry, Acme, was held in Chicago, March 9/11. Plenty of hot new arcade machines were shown, including many we thought would make excellent NES games. We haven't heard of any plans on these, but here are a few we like to see for the NES. Hint, hint. Aliens from Konami. Merc and Buster Bros from Capcom. Big Run from Jaleco. Toki from Fabtech. And Dragon Breed from Irene. It's no coincidence. Coincidence with coin in it. That the top coin-operated developers are also creating hits for the NES. Another interesting device rolling out at the Acme show was a pinball machine from Data East, in which the player activates the flippers with his brain waves, which are transmitted to the game by special headgear. What? Okay. And then here's a showcase of all the Nintendo back issues available. In case you missed any issues, you can pick these up. Classics for sure, and I'm sure we'll get to them here on the show, because I want to at least cover all the Nintendo ones, right? Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos is in the next issue. And in a September-October issue, look for these highlights of Mission Impossible, more on Maniac Mansion, and continuing with the Final Fantasy Treasure Quest final installment. Players Poll Contest right here. What are we winning? Some cool t-shirts, a freaking car. Nintendo Power Fest 1990 Grand Prize winner. Nintendo Power Vacation to Orlando, Florida. Win a trip for 4 to the NWC Finals in December. Nintendo will fly you and 3 guests from your hometown to the biggest event of the year, the NWC Finals in Orlando, Florida. You'll get to see the televised finals and meet NWC winners and NES fans from all over the country. The grand prize winner will also take home one-of-a-kind gold-plated NWC game cartridge featuring Super Mario Bros., Rad Racer, and Tetris, the same program used in the NWC. And we all know those are one of the rarest Nintendo games, the gold cartridge. Included with the grand prize is a Nintendo paid excursion to see the various tourist attractions in and around Orlando. Some pictures there, so you do not get this car here. They're just showing that Rad Racer is one of the games there. Here's the cart right there, the infamous NWC Gold Cart. Second prize winners will get an exclusive NWC game cartridge featuring Super Mario Bros., Rad Racer, and Tetris. These carts are just like those used in the NWC. With one of these, you can form your own neighborhood competitions and prove who's the best Nintendo player around. And third prize, we got 50 winners. 53rd place winners will be the first to own one of our new reader-designed Nintendo Power shirts. These great shirts aren't available in any store, but only through the Players Poll. And it looks like it has Nestor right here on the breast, and on the back, it just lists all the different segments in Nintendo Power magazine. And that wraps up with the back portion of the magazine. Looks like pictures from some of the events. You got a Luigi right here, which you don't see too often, a Luigi statue, so that's cool there. Over 250,000 fans in 15 cities have hit the Nintendo Power Fest 1990. Now it's heading your way. Preview future hit games of the Power Walk. Get top secret tips from Nintendo game counselors. Meet Mario and Luigi. Play to win a trip to Nintendo World Championship Finals at Universal Studios Orlando. It's huge. It's hot. It's coming to San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, Kansas City, Denver, Miami, Atlanta, and other cities. Call 1-900-468-4692 or check Nintendo Power Magazine to find out when the action hits your town. So there we go, guys. July, August 1990, Nintendo Power with Rescue Rangers on the cover, talking a lot about Power Fest 1990. Certainly a blast to go back and check through this magazine. I never made it out to Power Fest. I got these magazines growing up. Maybe I just didn't think to ask my dad to try to get me to one of these shows to check it out. So kind of missed out on that. But it's certainly a classic going through these Nintendo Power magazines. If you guys enjoy this content like that, I got a whole playlist here you can check out of me reading Nintendo Power issues. And you can certainly tune in next week for a new issue. And as always, guys, I'm Russly, and keep your world fun bit by bit. I'll see you next video.